Give me that.
Crypto Quickie.
What is up, everybody? It's your boy KJ here with your Crypto Quickie, where we give you just the tip quickly. It's been a really fun time in crypto. Great first month of 2020. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to like, subscribe, show me some love. And I'm excited to start talking about Bitcoin. Obviously, we hit 10K, was swiftly rejected. In the meantime, alts are doing very well. Stock market keeps chugging along. It's a great time to be long. So before I go forward, I want to thank my sponsors over at Dudex. They have that new risk management tool, which is awesome. I've been meaning to do it. I'm going to do a tutorial on how to use that exchange. Hopefully you guys will check that out. Also, if you're following me on Twitter, I actually just released a tweet for an invitation to my free public group. It is private, so there's only a limited amount of entries. But basically, the dojo is the private group where we're doing, trading and an analysis pretty much all day, every day. If you're interested, definitely check the link in the description. But if you're not sure if you're ready for that and you just kind of want to hang around with some people that are trading all sorts of markets, hop on by, say hello. I'm around. So if you want to talk, I'm there. Anyway, let's move into it. Right away, we're going to start with BTC. Okay, so as we've been talking about for weeks, this is an uptrend, very clear. It doesn't go straight up. You have pullbacks, but when you really start to take off at 6,800, we move all the way up to 8,500. It pulls back, makes this shockwave right here, then breaks out, makes another high over here at around 9,200, pulls back into the previous wave. So the way that looks is like these are the waves here, and this is kind of the resistance in it. So we break out from this one, you make another high here, right? And it pulls back to the resistance here. So this was an entry to long around 8,300, which we did long that one, and it breaks out from there into the next wave. Now you top out around 9,600. It's happening faster, a shorter wave. Pulls back into this wick right here. This was around 91 right here. This is another entry that we hit, okay? And now it breaks out to 10K and it's starting to pull back. My expectation here is, a lot of people are saying the end of the bull market's over, this was just a fake out. When you zoom out, right, this level right here from the October pump is extremely significant. It's around 10,500, 10,400, 500, sorry. Right now we're above this complacency shoulder here where the dump really kind of signaled this. When this was happening in real time and we made the lower high and then pulled back, it was pretty clear that this portion right here was going to become a crash cycle. And when this low was taken out, that's your signal, and rejected here, then you could start, shorting, really. And anyway, we are currently above this right here, which is good, but we really need to take out 10,500. That's when things can get very crazy very quickly. And one of my partners and friends, Stillman, has done some really sick analysis on high time frame stuff. So if you're on Twitter, definitely follow him. Check out that thread that he dropped today. Really interesting stuff that we've been reviewing for weeks now. So we were kind of able to forecast this move and realize that it has some teeth. It's not just BS. But anyway, what to do now? All right. The way I see it, we obviously want to get above this. You don't absolutely have to play here, but if you can get, if this dips into the top of this range here, of this wave, like somewhere around here, that may be a good opportunity. So this Kazanomics pleb eject is a level, my mentor Kaz came up with in 2017, I believe, and extremely significant. If you want to check out the price history around 94.79, it's actually quite insane. So personally, that's a place where I'd be looking. The top of this wick, and if you zoom in to the 1 hour, this is right in the middle of the beginning of the breakout here. So like around 90, 96.25, 95.50. Well, I'd say about 9600 to 96.25. That's an area where you can participate if it gets into it. I wouldn't give it too much room, but it depends on how you're managing your risk and what type of leverage you're using. Another strategy would be to have, multiple orders so that you can get like kind of an average entry price. And 96.25, something like that is not a bad place to start layering in your limit orders. There's no guarantee it gets there either. It can just turn from here and just break up. That's possible as well. It made it all the way to 97.20, but I don't think it's impossible. I think there's a decent chance that we may see that. So 96.25, and then the next level below that would be Kazanomics level, 94.79. So between 94.79 and 96.25, those are kind of like, that's a nice place to participate. And also, you don't have to knife catch. You can wait and see how price develops. So, that's kind of where I'm looking to get in for BTC. As far as calling the top or saying this is over, there is no real reason to believe that at the moment. We have a high, we have a higher low. Okay, so this is not a trend that is really a great idea to step in the way of, in my opinion. And plus, the strength that altcoins are showing just further cements, the bullish narrative. So overall, crypto markets are looking good. Let's get into alts. Let's review from last video. I gave you a few. It was TRX, Walton, and Tezos, I believe. Let's follow up on that. So TRX. I said I've been bullish on TRX since below 200 sats, but when we discussed it last week, it was kind of there were better coins out there that were showing signs of life where you could have gotten in. For Tron, I wanted to see it over 210 sats. Well, it doesn't look fantastic, but this is inching its way up right here. So 210. I've been saying this. 210 is kind of like that. I think that's the gateway. If it gets over 210 and starts to close up there, Tron can move very, very quickly. Once it gets over 210, then I felt like the potential for breakout is quite high. So if you see right here, this is kind of like where we were. When I was discussing it, we were in this. You start to break over 210 here. And then you have this. So when you start to see that and it's above the resistance, this is a good sign that a breakout is coming. But look, you get a move down to 205 really quickly to kick people out, and then it takes off like a rocket. And we're up at 240, 245. Also, if you look, you still get another wick down here to 210. So just because something's breaking out doesn't mean it's going to leave you in the dust. You know what I'm saying? So people that FOMO'd up here got wrecked on this move down here. And now you're starting to see this bull flag develop, starting to break up. It's a similar position to 210, honestly. When you look at where we are from a high time frame, I always do that. This is kind of forming like a double top. So this is definitely resistance here at like 245, 250. So you can kind of take the same approach at 210. You want to see it start to get some acceptance above 245. So if you see the move above 245, and then you start to see something like this type of price action above, then you're kind of like, that's your signal that maybe this is about to take off again. And then you can either try to find a wick down to get in, or you can get in and manage your risk. So that's the way I see Tron. Right now, it doesn't make tremendous sense to hop in. You can wait if you want to. If you're super bullish, you can. You don't want to see it going back below 210 or 205. That would be very bad. But for the most part, I think waiting for the breakout, and because if you look at where it is, then the next level is around 285. It'll probably be 300. And if it gets through that, then you're talking about serious multipliers, especially if you're trading it with leverage. So Tron looks good. ICX. So on the last stream that I did last week, when ICX was up here, that was this day. we were right around here, and one of the guys in the stream said, I'm going to buy $2,000 worth of ICX right now because I feel like it's going up. All right. So anytime you feel like something's going to happen, that's not a really great way to enter a trade. You need to do a little bit more analysis to kind of get your emotions in check. Here is the projection that I drew on stream. You could just be patient. It could do something like this, like that, then like this, then go. You know, something like that. Like if it comes down here around 4,000, you know, and everybody's like, oh, see, this is why you should have sold ICX and no FOMO, hey guys. And you get all that shit, and it's just like chilling right here. Like then you can buy. That boy is good. When addressing that person. All right, so as you can see, the chart, and here, I'll pull it out to the hourly, is following the projection pretty closely, and we have established a base above this. So this kind of area where the pump really starts to get crazy, like that. You know, this is kind of like right through. You want to stay above this. This can break, it's possible, but I like what I'm seeing from ICX. Overall, the alt market cap is doing well. You can wait for this to kind of take out 5,000. If it can get above 5,000, I mean, that would be a great sign, but that's still over 20% away from where it is right now. I like the RR playing ICX here. So somewhere between 39 and 41,000, like you can get in. And you don't want to see it go much below 37. So if it gets below here, it starts closing below there, that's a very bad sign. So I wouldn't give it too much room. But there is a lot of nice upside still. And when you zoom out to the daily, you can see, like, this is obviously a huge wick. If this were to reverse and start to break up for another wave, now you're looking at, you know, 10,000 sats plus. So you can do potentially another 2x from here, or more. So I like that. All right. Walton, I put on Twitter at 440 sats, like right around here. And I talked about it on the stream, like somewhere around here. This thing is starting to go. The volume is really nice. And looking at it, there's not tremendous resistance anywhere here. Like, if this thing really starts to go, I mean, it can pull an ICX. Let's put it that way. I'm not telling you to FOMO in now. And in fact, what we'll do is we'll zoom into the hourly, kind of give you guys an idea, because I get a lot of questions on like when to buy, when to sell, how to get in. Basically, like this, when you're looking at this trend here, and just kind of similar to what I discussed with BTC, you have like a series of flags that break out to the upside and retest. So right here, around 480, this is a base, right? Breaks out, returns to the base. But this range here, the top of this range ends up being the bottom of this range when this breakout happens, right? So if you're entering in here, you don't want to see it break down below, I guess, here. If it goes down below that, that would be a bad sign. You don't want to be like back in there. It can happen and still be bullish, but you know, typically when you're riding a trend that's starting to go pretty steeply, I don't like to let it break through multiple structures. So now you have the top of this base of this wave here, like around 680. That is acting as support in this one. So when you enter, if you're entering in a structure like this, you want to enter as close to the bottom of it as possible so that you could give it a little room to breathe. These are not the most liquid assets in the world, and they are subject to manipulation and quick dumps. If one person wants to get out, they can. I mean, look at Tron; those were big wicks. So you know, ideally, you want to enter somewhere around here, and then keep your stop like maybe below here. If it takes this out and it starts to enter like the lower half of this range, then there's a decent chance it'll start to break into that one. And you know, maybe the trend is over. But when you zoom out to the daily, let's see, zooming out to the daily. It just looks pretty strong. So try to find a place to get in. You don't need to rush. Right now, this is a resistance here, but I don't think it's too strong, to be honest. You're probably gonna get more of a fight at 1,000 sats. So depending on where this is, I mean, it looks like it's destined for 1,000, and if it gets through 1,000, then we're talking about 1,500. So, you know, there's a lot of potential room here. And the last alt I'm going to talk about is Ftm. This is a little bit smaller. Looking at the chart on Binance, it looks like a horrible downtrend. The only thing about this one was it was on KuCoin first, I believe. I'm not sure if it was on Bittrex. So I look at this one on CoinTrader charts.cointrader. It's like former coin signals. So this will give you the full price history. So it's actually, it did a double bottom around 90 sats. And 100 is kind of like a psychological area. But when it broke out in March of 2019, I mean, it did a 5x from here. Ultimately went up there. Oh, this was the second time it visited 100. So this is like kind of very strong support. If the overall mid cap alt market was not looking strong as it is right now, maybe I wouldn't try this, but I kind of do like it here because it is. I mean, if you're gonna buy it, this is the time. First off, but this wave here was a box I was looking at months ago, and if you look, the bottom of this box is acting as resistance. So if we can break into this and get above 130 or so, that would be a really good sign that perhaps this will be testing the top of the box, which is, 175 to 200 sats. So, you could wait on this and see if it can prove itself a little bit more. But from a maximum opportunity perspective, I think this is in a great spot. All right. So that's it. Just to recap, we talked about Bitcoin. We talked about Walton, Ftm, Tron, and ICX. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like, subscribe. If you want to try out Bitcoin margin trading, please use my referral link on dudex.com/Korean Jew. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys inside the dojo at some point, or, see you on Twitter. Have a great day, and I'll be back soon. Take care.